the way that we met Crótalo is through a lovely lady who's standing in the back, Jennifer Ivanko, who we only met recently, and she introduced us to a lot of things. One of them is Crótalo and what's offered in Damanhur. So you're going to learn about that tonight and about the singing plants. But we just never know what's going to come our way, and we go with the flow. Whatever shows up, we're open to presenting it and sharing it. So that also means if you know something that you think is a great topic or a great presenter, we'd love to hear about it. We're always checking out new things. So with that, I'd love to introduce Jennifer Ivanko, and she will tell us about this evening. Here's Jen.
Thank you. And before I start, I'd like to one more time bring up Erica as well about Green Eras for hosting us here at, I actually stumbled into this place. I was driving to Shadyside to Journeys to put up brochures. I'm still trying to find places to reach people like yourself for some of these great things. And I was just driving along to the bridge there, and I was like, oh, okay. We just ended up, and I just walked up the stairs, and the door, one of the back offices, Susan was sitting there. And Susan Amorous, and she and I just hit it off. She's another angel. And suddenly I found myself inviting everybody to my house for Crótalo. So before I start, I'd really like to just hear a little bit about Green Eras, if you don't mind.
Oh, okay. Well, we're a holistic health center, and we've been open a little over a year. And we have a yoga program, and we have several practitioners that work here that do acupuncture, nutrition, Reiki, astrology. Susan Amorous is here. She is a Qigong doctor, medical Qigong, and she does classes. So we have a pretty full schedule, a lot of things, a lot of events happening here all the time. And you probably don't know this, but there's a yoga class going on above you right now. But anyway, thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us. It just amazes me. I came to Pittsburgh, 25 years ago, and to me it was a meat and potato town. Iron work, and it's amazing the people that are here. And I'm finding these spiritual communities and these places like this and yourselves. It's very refreshing and wonderful. I've traveled quite a bit. I was trained by Deepak Chopra and trained by Jean Houston. I traveled with her quite a bit doing human capacities. And on one of our journeys, we ended up in Italy, and she had heard about this place called Damanhur. Damanhur is we're going to hear a lot about it from Crótalo. But if you know Jean Houston's work at all, she is about human capacities, about what can we do. We can reach these amazing experiences in our meditations and our journeys in personal evolution, but what can we do to bring it back here and make a difference? And she travels around, works with the UN, has been to hundreds of countries. And so when I went to Damanhur, that's where I noticed they live their spirituality. It's a community that supports each other and lives in it's where something like Namaste, where you walk by and you just say Namaste to somebody. There they actually meet you, and they say Kante instead of Namaste, but the idea is they're with you, and you feel like you just had a soul hug. There's that much consciousness in everything they do. I don't want to talk too much about it because I want to leave that for Crótalo, but come on.
Thank you, Jennifer.
I do want to mention, in case he forgets, that we are having these mystery school classes, and my intention is to reach a large audience here in Pittsburgh so that we can have him continually coming back here and teaching. So.
Thank you for your presentation, and welcome to everybody. As Jennifer was introducing, our greeting in Damanhur in Italy is not ciao, but in this case we have our hands at the level of our hearts. And then in a movement in the direction of who we greet, we say io sono con te, or io sono con voi. In this case, if it's a group of people. In English it's always I'm with you. So I like to start this evening together, say I'm with you and welcome. So, well, let me just introduce you what we're going to do tonight, because there's going to be different part inside of the evening. At the beginning, I'm going to show you a video about Damanhur, because for me it's very important not only to show you my large family, from where I'm coming from the place where I've been living for more than 30 years, but also because Damanhur is many things. So Damanhur is obviously a federation of community, Damanhur is spirituality, Damanhur is ecology, Damanhur is talking with the plants, Damanhur is education of our children, Damanhur is art, so Damanhur is really a lot of things. So the video, even if it's coming from some years ago, it will give you, let's say, this general idea about who we are, what we're doing, what we've been established since 1975, because yes, Damanhur is one of the oldest communities in the world. It's more than 43 years. You're going to discover why we have animal and plants name. Well, probably you heard this name, Crótalo, Sésamo, that is my name, and say, well, this is a little bit difficult, to be an Italian name. Actually, because this is not the name that my parents give me, but these are giving names. Animal, Crótalo, the rattlesnake. No worries, I'm not going to bite your ankles today. Sésamo, my plants, that is the plants of the sesame seed. Well, these are given names, so that means that are spiritual names, like in the tradition of the Native American, for example, where they get the animal names to create a channel, to create a connection between their experience and the experience of the animal, then to share both of them at the same time. So for us, the meaning is very similar. So giving names, because it's a sign that you are not the same person anymore, so you change your trigger, so you change your name, but also a spiritual connection with the animal kingdom and then to the plants kingdom. So we're gonna have this overview, and obviously after I'm gonna open some question and answer, because I'm sure you're gonna have different questions about it, and then also some practical experience, because it's also part of our imprint. We believe in a spirituality that is not just, let's say, to theorize. It's not only to meditate, but also to make it action. So to make it in practice, so to make everything at the level of a practical experience. So we're gonna also have a practical experience, so a short meditation together, and then obviously we're gonna talk about the plants. Jennifer brought here also the music of the plants that probably you heard is this device, this machine that we invented a long time ago to translate the electrical conductivity of a plant into sound, into something that then is a way to communicate. So we're going to touch many different elements. Okay, so are you ready for action? Ready for the video? So yes, okay, now we found, I have also mine in case. Just a few moments. It's going to be about half an hour, so it's not going to be too long, so no worries about it. And it's not in Italian, Se volete posso parlare italiano naturalmente, but no, I'm not going to speak Italian, so it's in English, so I'm sure you're going to appreciate. As I told you, it's a video that is coming from some years ago, because there is still the presence of Falco in the video. Falco Bertoiardi, that is the founders of Damanhur, unfortunately passed in 2013. So it's nice to have, let's say, his voice and his presence also in the video to present part of our reality. Just to let you know, because many people are asking us, so where we are in Italy. I mean, if you've been in our beautiful country, we are in the north. West side, that means more on the side of France, just to give you the idea. Nearby Turin, that is the largest city, nearby Damanhur, is an hour by car. An hour and a half from Milan, just to give you a little bit better the location. At the foothills of the Alps, so we're not really up to the mountain, but still, in a place where it's snowing. As it's snowing here now, also we have a little bit of snow also in Damanhur. A pretty interesting location that you're going to discover. It's also very much connected to all the research that we did about the energy lines of the planet. What you're going to discover in the video we call synchronic lines. But talk about the energy lines of the planet, obviously we talk about many ancient traditions. They mention with the name ley lines, or with the name the part of the back of the dragon. So there's many different, let's say, ways to describe, the planet Earth, not only with the physical part of it, but also the planet Earth, surrounded by energy lines. So I like to imagine an aura of the planet that has also some meridians, so important specific points that are, let's say, a place of information, place of knowledge, place where the energy they could be perceived even better than in other places. Well, we believe in this area, we research in all of this, and before choosing where to create Damanhur, we've been traveling a lot, I'm talking about early 70s, to find out which was the best place where to create Damanhur. So the best place in this case is where these lines are crossing together. 2 of them, 3 of them, or rarely 4 of them. So there are in this point really a sort of bubble of energy, a very particular condition of energy. Well, this is a funny story because this first group of Damanhurians, well, not even Damanhurians yet, the founders of Damanhur with Falco, they've been really traveling all over the planet to complete a map of these synchronic lines that they didn't have. So they've been traveling and then really all over the world, and then doing out-of-body experience, medium experience, really to recreate the entire map. And it's funny because after more than 2 years of traveling, they discovered that the most important place in the planet Earth at this time, where 4 synchronic lines are crossing, was just 10 miles from where Falco was born. Falco was born in Balangero Canavese. Damanhur has been established in Baldissero Canavese. So, and it's obviously a metaphor because we're always looking for the most important things, outside, and then we travel here, we travel there, and then we forget that the most important thing is right here, right inside of ourselves. Ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Ready for action? Okay. Enjoy.
Here, in the mid-70s, the Damanhur project began. The creation of an eco-society based upon ethical and spiritual values that recognized the great preciousness of human and cultural diversity. Awarded by the United Nations in 2005 as a model of sustainable society, the Federation of Damanhur is an example for the future, the seed of a culture of peace that can inspire change in the world's economic and social systems.
Una nuova combinazione che porti equilibrio, new combination that may bring equilibrium, che porti armonia, harmony, che porti bellezza, beauty.
Damanhur was born to bring together the dreams of many people, to create something new, something never imagined before, something that this time could actually become reality. We need reality today. Therefore, it is necessary that dreams come true so that they can allow us to carry on dreaming. Damanhurian philosophy is based on action, to do, to act, to believe in what you are doing, to give meaning to things. 1,000 citizens of all ages and 16 different nationalities, centers and embassies in Italy and around the world, 80 economic activities and services, all private companies, most structured as cooperatives and inspired by solidarity and ethical principles, art and craft workshops, bringing back to life ancient arts and trades. A constitution, a complementary currency system, an open university, internal schools for boys and girls, and a temples complex dedicated to humanity.
Damanhur for me is a laboratory. It's a laboratory for the future. But we know for sure then the future will be like the past. We don't quite know yet what the future will be like, but we know that we cannot continue the same way as we have done before. Therefore, we must try to set out on new ways that we can live together without killing each other, without disadvantaging each other, live together in peace and in solidarity. And for this we need experiments. Experiments not only in theory, but also in practice. And here Damanhur has a unique contribution, because here people put into practice what they think. They dream, but they don't only dream, they also wake up and they act. And this is a unique contribution of Damanhur for our shared future.
Everyday life in Damanhur is based on trust, kindness, and sharing. These values are so important for us that we included them in the founding principles of our Constitution. Enlightenment attitude, imagination, and a good sense of humor are important ingredients to live harmoniously with oneself and with others. Our learning and learning is a fertile desire for a deep contact with nature, and are also a playful way to relate to one another. My name is Estrella Anda, sunset butterfly pineapple.
Shrimp wild fennel. I am Congo sunflower.
Sono Paprika Coriandolo, anche coriandolo. In Damanhur, we choose to live in community. In our large homes, there are communal spaces that we even share in personal ways. Each family includes people of different ages, couples, singles, couples with children. Life together in this way is very rich because we can share diversity, experiences, and dreams. Damanhur was born as a social experiment. Today, it's overwhelming more than is studied by academic institutions and often portrayed by the media. The Federation participates in many networks. The most important is GEN, the Global Eco-Villages Network, an NGO recognized by the United Nations. There are many ways to participate in our projects, as citizens, or by coming to live in the valley, as people of different nationalities are choosing to do.
Damanhur is internationally known for its temples of humankind, an underground work of art built by its citizens and dedicated to universal spirituality, to the union between human beings and divine forces. The temples are a three-dimensional book carved out of a mountain which tell the story of humanity from the past to the future through many forms of artistic expression. Built completely by hand, the temples extend for thousands of square meters on different levels, connected by miles of corridors. The temples are located exactly at the point in which a rare mineral comes to the surface, carrying with it the physical energies of the earth. This mineral is myelinite, an ancient rock over 300 million years old. This is one of the most important energy centers of our planet. Here, four synchronic lines meet, the energy rivers that link the earth to the cosmos, transporting thought, dreams, and ideas. The temples of humankind symbolically represent the inner rules of every human being, a profound journey of discovery to the inner self.
This is the labyrinth. It is dedicated to the union and the harmony of all the divine forces of humanity, of all times and of all peoples. Each window is dedicated to a god or a goddess. Central nave, the history of humanity is narrated, from the primordial time of unity with the earth and the cosmos, through dark ages of suffering and wars, to a possibly more balanced and awakened future. The whole of water, dedicated to the feminine principle and the goddess.
every shape, every detail has a significance, following a precise code of form and proportion. Linked to time and the connection between life and the beyond. The whole spheres at the heart of the temples and the synchronic lines. Dedicated to light, to air, and to the awakening of humankind as a divine being. The temples demonstrate that a small human group united by strong ideals can create extraordinary works. The temples are a gift to humanity and its future generations. The temples can be visited by anyone who is moved by a sincere desire to immerse themselves in the atmosphere of this extraordinary work of art. The same ideals that gave birth to the temples of humankind also inspire the social commitment of the Federation's citizens.
Social service volunteering is very important for Damanhurians. 100 volunteers are civil protection and firefighting operatives. 150 are blood donors and 100 more are Red Cross volunteers. I have taken part, along with other Damanhurian volunteers, in many humanitarian missions here in Piedmont, in Italy, Albania, and Sri Lanka.
Many Damanhurians are also active at a political and social level. 10 years ago, we founded our own political movement called Con Te per il Paese, with you for the country. We have gone from one elected councillor to 21 councillors, plus a mayor in the town of Vidraco. Our political movement is active not only in Piedmont, but all over Italy. We collaborate with political parties and politicians engaged in the protection of social and civil rights, and we are also very active in promoting a culture of peace so that Italy can become a foremost country in this field. More specifically, here at Alcusella, in the town of Vidraco, that we have been in ministry for several years, we immediately addressed environmental protection issues and the conservation of natural resources. We created an eco-museum of water and ancient trades, and we were one of the first towns in Italy to declare our territory a GM-free zone.
The Damanhurian Land Administration of Vidraco has put into action a new development plan for the town that will bring vitality, economic, cultural and demographic growth. The project includes ecologically built houses, a town square for meetings and markets, a school, a health centre, and sports and tourist facilities. Damanhurians consider the earth a sentient being to be respected and protected. From the beginning, Damanhur has been committed to organic agriculture and nutrition, investing in land, greenhouses and buildings to cultivate and produce products that are in harmony with the natural environment. Certain important foods that cannot be cultivated in the Piedmont climate are grown in other Damanhurian territories. For example, the olive groves of Reggio in Florence, which produce organic olive oil of the highest quality. In
Damanhur, smoking is not allowed, even outdoors, as a form of respect, not only for human life, but also for plants, animals, and the subtle forces of nature. A notable amount of resources are invested into research and the use of renewable energy sources with lower environmental impact.
In Damanhur, we use renewable energy technology. This choice requires extensive research into economical and ecological solutions. The technology we employ ranges from photovoltaic and solar panels to biomass heating systems that use wood from our forest maintenance programs. We also have more advanced technological solutions such as thermal heat exchange systems, which employ the heat of the ground, and cogeneration that is the clever use of traditional fossil fuel sources. The most important result is that these technologies actually work and can be applied by anyone. Our experiment is reproducible. This for us is a great victory.
Research in Damanhur is very important and is developed on many different fronts. For instance, in the field of molecular biology, we carry out clinical and environmental analysis. We are also experimenting with hydroponic cultivation in water and aeroponics in the presence of CO2 and nutritional substances. We are also studying seaweed cultivation with the aim of producing hydrogen.
The desire for a strong connection with nature has inspired many original experiments, from a village in the trees for dreaming in contact with the forces of the forest, to concerts of the music of the plants, in which flowers and trees learn to communicate with human beings. Damanhurian researchers have invented a special device that, using the sensors, picks up the variations of a plant's electrical conductivity. The signals are then translated into music. Concerts of the music of the plants are held regularly in Damanhur and have also been presented in festivals in Europe, India, the United States and Canada.
Mi chiamo Marina Clauser e lavoro da Marina Clauser. I've been working for the Botanical Garden of Florence since 1990. The garden is one of the oldest botanical gardens in the world. In 2004, we had an interesting and very original experience with the Damanhur Association. We created a very special activity using this instrument, which registers the difference in the electrical potential between the leaves and roots of plants and transmits sounds, individual music. This music produced by the plants touches the hearts of the children. There have been moments of great festivity in the botanical garden, because we've been able to talk to the plants, talk about music, about life, and all the nature that surrounds us in an absolutely original way.
My name is Crótalo, Gold Carrot Tree. The Damanhurian economy is based on cooperation and free enterprise. The citizens of Damanhur created many businesses, the major part of which are organized as cooperatives, so those who work for non-Damanhurian businesses and those who work freelance. Damanhurian land and real estate holdings are managed by a cooperative in which all citizens have shares. To use a means of exchange dedicated exclusively to growth and development, Damanhur has created its own complementary currency system, the Crótalo. Crótalo carries the same monetary value as the euro. This system has contributed to increase economic development in Venezuela because it has created a network of solidarity for local consumers. In Damanhur, we choose to support the development of the Federation by investing part of our revenue in projects of communal interest.
An important example of a communal project is Damanhur Kreya, a centre dedicated to the arts, research and healthy living. Damanhur Kreya is based inside a former Olivetti factory, which has been abandoned for over 20 years. It is a pilot project that integrates innovative technology with the revival of ancient and local traditions. Damanhur Kreya hosts the first organic GM-free food store in the valley, a modern conference centre,
a physical rehabilitation and massage centre, a bioarchitecture and renewable energy consultancy, and many art and craft workshops.
Since my first studies on Damanhur in 1989, the dimension which I have found most interesting and surprising was precisely that of the social experiment. Studying Damanhur, I got the perception of what the Carthusian monasteries and the abbeys represented in the Middle Ages. Establishing themselves inside agricultural valleys, they brought benefits and revitalized entire zones. In a valley which had all the economical and social indexes of depression and aging, Damanhur has represented a resource in many aspects. Damanhur has revitalized the valley in demographic terms, has reactivated the interest for many ancient trades, and has brought back the pleasure for artistic production in many sectors. And since the beginning, Damanhur has represented this element of social innovation.
My name's David Pearl. I'm an artist, I'm a singer, an opera singer, and I'm here because for me Damanhur is a constant inspiration. Damanhur is an example of how the arts can be used right in the middle of a society to bring life to everything.
L'arte in Damanhur è un'espressione di vita.
Art in Damanhur is an expression of life. It is a very important experience for us and a way in which we can develop our creativity and talents. It is also a means of expressing our concept of evolution and growth. It is a people's art because it is an art that is shared, one that invites all members of our people to actively participate in it. People here are invited to participate in all forms of artistic expression, from theatre and the performing arts to working with glass. We also have some real fun projects like telling the story of Damanhur in comic strip.
I'm Alex Gray and this is Allison Gray, and we're the founders of the Chapel of Sacred Mirrors in New York City. And Damanhur has been a tremendous inspiration for us. We have a community of like-minded individuals there in New York, and we decided to study Damanhur and to make a book about the temples of humankind, because we also want to actually build sacred space. Down toward creating sacred art together has been a tremendous inspiration for us.
The Federation promotes dialogue between different cultures and philosophy, encouraging meetings and exchange between groups committed to the transformation of the planet.
I would like the leaders of the world to come and objectively study how 1,000 people belonging to various countries could work together and together creating a world which is worthy of emulation. It should be better known to the world because the world is searching for such a model. Here, without anybody dominating the scene, everybody is able to be equal partners in creating an ideal society.
Convoy. My name is Crótalo Sésamo, a rattlesnake sesame. I've been living in Damanhur for more than 22 years. I'm a spiritual healer, and I'm the coordinators of all the Damanhur ambassadors. People like me that are traveling all over the world to teach, to do conference, to inspire people to the Damanhur social and spiritual model. We have a dream, and we would love to share the dream with all the dreamers of the world. So we have many embassies, many centers, many reference points where we are teaching, but we would love to bring Damanhur in every place on this planet. So if you are inspired by Damanhur, if you want to bring Damanhur in your country, in your city, in your place, well, we will be happy to do that. So please contact us.
I am Gazza Solidago at Damanhur Welcome Center. Our guests come all year round to visit the Federation, the temples of humankind, and for healing and regeneration programs. Many people come also to attend seminars at our Open University. We offer many courses on the development of human potential, the arts, new social models, and spiritual healing. Our guests come from all over the world. Many come in groups. They stay in our guest houses and are very happy to enjoy our organic food.
The education of the young in Damanhur is a top priority. The Federation has its own innovative school system, which is also open to children of the valley. It offers schooling from nursery to middle school level.
I'm Anaconda Papaya, and this is Kiwi. We are educators in Damanhur School. Our school's founding principles relate to participation and integration of diversity, the culture of the environment, and the culture of peace. One of the principal elements is travel, in terms of leaving the classroom environment to experience and learn by practical experiences.
Research and its application in the field of health has always been important to the Federation's project, which today is known all over the world thanks to the results it has achieved in the field of natural and avant-garde medicine. Damanhur operates its own health service and enjoys the collaboration of doctors, naturopaths, psychologists, and specialist therapists.
I am Anteater Carey. I am a surgeon and I am currently working as a general practitioner. I also work for the Italian Emergency Services. I am a regional consultant for general medicine and I am also the head of the Damanhur Health Service. Health in Damanhur is more than anything a way of life. The social environment, relationships, and spiritual ideals are basic factors in enjoying good health. Damanhurian medicine is a synthesis of conventional and scientific methods with ancient medicine traditions, as well as disciplines from our own traditions such as pranatherapy, hypnosis, and selfic applications.
This is the Cell-Et laboratory, where we make selfic structures that are used to promote physical and mental well-being, for the health of the body, to energize and harmonize the environment, and to develop human potential. Similar energies can also be directed through the use of colors and signs, as in the paintings of Alberto Araudi, which have specific functions and can interact with the environment and with human beings.
For many years, Damanhur has been committed to reclaiming hundreds of hectares of woodland. The heart of this territory is the sacred wood. Miles and miles of coloured stone circuits, a labyrinth for connecting with the energies of the earth and the synchronic lines. The wood is located right on top of the temples of humankind. The trees are the antennas and the open-air extension of the underground building.
Il nuovo progetto collegato al
The
tempio.
new project linked to the temples consists of a huge theater, space for music and space for books. Books are so important. A part of this great underground space will become a special place for meetings, international meetings of politicians, important figures who need to come to an agreement. A meeting point rather than a battle point, and the whole environment will be designed to facilitate and favor these meetings.
One of the things I love about this place, and I think everybody loves, is they've never stopped developing things. And one of the projects which I've seen which really excites me is Les Bouquets, the caves, the holes, where they're going to build the most incredible theatre, but not in the sense just of entertainment. You know, in the true sense of theatre, it's a place where people meet. Really, the world needs a place like this, and for me, it's incredibly inspiring. I can't wait to see it happen. I can't wait to be part of it. I can't wait to stand and sing there, actually. Viviamo, liviamo nei collici della bellezza infiora e là fuggevo.
Mi chiamo Fabiano.
My name is Siegel, and I am 86 years old. I have been a citizen of Damanhur since 1980. Today in the world we are witnessing a frightening absence of thought and lost values. I think that Damanhur's work could contribute a lot in this respect. The aim is to bring back, by means of this dream action, the values of life, of hope and joy, the real joy of being alive.
good trip. Really? Did you like it?
Yes. So you have room for about 40 people?
Of course. From when? Okay, so any question, because now is the time for question and answer. So this is the moment where you can ask me almost everything, or everything. So, no question, no interest. It's not possible. I mean, beside the, well, I can follow your request just to announce that Jennifer, and then I'm coming to your question. It's organizing in September a visit to Damanhur, because obviously Damanhur is open every day, so you can just go there and reserve your experience. But we always recommend people to come in group, because obviously in group is possible then to join programs that if you come by yourself is not possible. So in September there's going to be this opportunity. Obviously for Jennifer it's not the first time, she already came here many times, came to Damanhur many times. So if you're interested, so Jennifer will give you all the information about the trip.
Yeah, we have about a maximum of 20 people that we can bring, and we're very excited because there's already a number of people signing up, and it's going to be, I think, Gail might be coming, and it's a wonderful time. It's a great way. You can go to Damanhur, and I will help you if you want to go to Damanhur on your own at some point and you can't join us. But when you go with a group, we make a traveling nucleo. Nucleo is like a family unit in Damanhur. We create that kind of connection with our group before we even go. We start meeting. I do meditations with everybody, and we kind of get geared up. And then by the time we get there, we just are exploding. It's wonderful.
Motivate. Question.
How many people live in community there?
How many we are? Well, we are about 1,000 people. More or less, we are 600 that are living, in these large homes that we call nucleus or nuclear families. But then there is also many other people around us, because you have to imagine that little by little there is people that are purchasing, houses or land that maybe they don't like or they don't feel to live together as a community, but they like the idea to create, let's say, an international village of people from all over the world, that they are thinking in the same way, they like to live in the same way, and obviously Damanhur is the catalyzer, so Damanhur is becoming more and more a meeting point for people like that. And because Valchiusella, the valley where we are, is still a cheap valley, well, it's still a very good investment to buy land or houses there.
Is Damanhur an independent state, or does it have any sovereignty or anything like that, or are you under?
Well, it's a dream to become independent, and as you know, well, to become an independent state, it's a long process. We will be so happy if already it would be possible to be recognized as a community, because I don't know so much the law here in the United States, but in Europe, I mean, you are recognized as an individual, as a couple, when there is a marriage between a woman and a man, and not even from the same gender. And then religion and country. But between religion and couples, there's nothing in the middle. So when you create an intentional community, there's nothing that is really supporting the fact that you have double duties or double rights. When I'm saying double duties, because as you see, for example, we choose to have our school. So we choose to educate our children at least from 0 to 14 years old, because we want to offer them, what it was not possible to us, to study, to research, not only what is the classical things, but also all the things that are part of our spiritual research, the meditation, the connection with the plants world, etc., etc. But that means that you have a double duty, because as Italians, we pay the Italian educational system, and as the Damanhurians, we are paying our educational system, so double duty. If you believe in natural medicine, so you believe in pranotherapy, or believe in chromotherapy, in all the alternative medicine, well, and then you create, your health system, it means that as an Italian, you have to pay the Italian health system, and as Damanhurians, you have to pay your health system. And the same things for the pensions, and the same things for many of the things that we're doing. So it's a big effort. And you know, when I'm teaching the classes about how to create a successful community, I'm used to say that when we want to create a community, we have to imagine that, well, we want to create something better from where we are coming from. You know what I'm talking? So, because a community is like to create another society. So you want to bring in this new society the element that you cannot find in the society from where you come from. So it's a full life job in a sort of way, because you really have to put the best of yourself. But also in terms of duties, in terms of investment, in terms of everything, it's an effort. And you also have to imagine that to become independent, well, it's not easy, because I mean, there's no society that wants to have competitors on the market. So we are already a little bit dangerous because, you know, we are, yes, independent on the fact that we are not connecting to our religion, we are not connecting to a political party, so we are not connecting to any power. We are free in this sense. So we are people that are believing in their values, and they are trying to live aligned to these values. So we are not connecting to anything that is the established power. So in a sort of way we are dangerous, because we are representing, we are an example that is possible to create new reality, that is possible to create new society, that is possible to create, you know, lives that are different from the common sense of what is life. So I have also to admit that we've been under attack many times all along our history, even now. Don't imagine that we are in a peaceful world. Absolutely not, because unfortunately, you know, the goal of every society, it's sad to say that, but it's to control. It's to control the members, the citizens, the slaves, the soldiers, so it doesn't matter the name. So who is part of the society? Well, it has to be, you know, under the control of the society. So nobody here, no country wants to have alternative in that sense. But yes, the goal is to become independent one day. And in terms of community, yes, we present many different new law, both in the Italian Parliament and in the European Parliament, to be recognized as community. This is also one of the projects that we have in the GEN, the Global Eco-Village Network, that is this association that brings all the different communities of the world to be together, and then with a bigger voice try then to establish projects that are not just linked to one community, but in the true sense of communities.
So what does the governing structure look like? Like, how do you make your decisions, and how do you know where to put your energy as a group?
Well, there is many different steps to making a decision, and as you imagine, we change it many times all along the history of Damanhur, because obviously one thing is when you have 30 people, one thing is when you are 100 people, one thing is when you have 500 people, so you have to change. So you cannot imagine that you can manage and organize yourself in the same way. So you need to be flexible. We teach the community a flexible instrument. That means that when it's working, it's true. When it's not working, it's not true. So we can try to do things, but then if they are not working, well, we can just simply change it. So in that sense, this is the plans that is starting to move.
I've never heard of it that way. I've never
Well,
heard
this is another plan. I'm sorry, I'm just... that means that to make decision, well, we create, let's say, a process that starts from what we call the nucleus, the families, the communities. The nucleus are these large homes. Normally, we leave them between 16 to 22 people. No worries, we're not 22 in one room, right? So that means that it could be fun, but doesn't work very well. Everyone has the private space, that you're single, that you're a couple, that you have children, that you're young, that you're a little bit less young. That was an experience from 0 to 96 years old, so we're covering all the ages. We are sharing the common rooms, obviously, the kitchen, bathroom, living room, and we manage life as a family. But the goal of every family is a goal connecting to the bigger goal, the goal of the community, or in this case of the federation. Because we also believe that when there are critical numbers, so when you cross, for example, 200, 220 individuals, so you need to be ready to multiply the community. This is the reason why Damanhur is a federation of community, because we already crossed that critical number. So all of this nuclear family, normally, they are not only living together, but they also have a common goal. A common goal that is linked to the goal of the entire federation, so of Damanhur. Common goals, what they could be. Well, for example, in my family, we are pretty much involved in to be open for guests that are coming to visit Damanhur, and they want to know how is life in a community. So normally we are invited for dinner or for lunch. A group of people are coming to visit us, so they spend time with us, they talk with us, they visit the house to see that we are not too much alien, so that we are more or less like them, and how is life together. Other nucleus, for example, are very much involved to the sacred woods and to the connection with the plants and to the plants world. So they are living in the sacred wood, and they are involved, for example, in project regarding this aspect. Other nucleus are connecting to art, where there is a lot of artists, and many of these people are connecting to this, or others that are connecting to education. So all of these different families, they have goals for the entire community. Now, every family, every year, is electing democratically, because we use democracy in the community. They are electing the president of the family, the responsible of the family. We like these important names: presidents, king guides, and things like that. Who is the president? Well, he's the one that is leading the family. He's the one that helps us to achieve our goal. Why we elect a president? Well, because we believe in leadership. Actually, it's one of the things that we are teaching in the class to how to create community, because we believe in leadership, that normally is divided in two kinds of leadership. One is the natural leadership. So the fact that some of us, they have charisma. They have the talent to be, natural leader. So you naturally follow them. And then there is another kind of leadership, that is the one that we are trying to create, that is the leadership that is being formed. So you bring people, everyone, because everyone is a potential leader, to be formed as a leader. Also because it's very important, the game of the perspective, the different vision. That means that when we are not in charge of our responsibility, so we know exactly what to do. When then we are in charge of that responsibility, then we are starting to see things differently, because we need to have a more complete ideas. So sometimes it's not so easy like to criticize and to say, oh, it has to be done like this, it has to be done like that. So this game of perspective is very important. There's a reason why we support people to be responsible. Actually, we believe that in a community, everyone needs to feel responsible for the entire community. And this is one of the secret ingredient for the success of a community. So we are encouraging that a lot. So we have the president, and then there is another level of making decision, that is the group of the presidents. Yes, the different presidents together, they are creating another level. And in this case, the level is the level of what we call the region. So now, group of these nucleus that together, because they are nearby. Well, when I'm saying nearby, you have to imagine that Damanhur is not located in one place. No, we are pretty much spread in about 7-8 miles. So we have three important, let's say, area. The area of Baldissero, the area of Giacomo, the area of Brugnaco, and another one that actually is the area of Cuccelio. So we are not, unfortunately, all in the same place. It would be lovely, but unfortunately it's not always as possible to purchase what you want. So this other level of the presidents that are becoming, let's say, the region, it's another level of decision making. On top of this, and I'm sorry, I'm just synthesizing because I can spend easily 2 or 3 hours about this process. We have what I called before the king guides, where, as I told you, we love these names. So the king guides are elected every year, again, from all of us, for 1 year, and normally they are three of them, connecting to different fields, the field of the social commitment, the field of the economy, and the field of Damanhur in the world, so to spread Damanhur in the planet. And they have to manage the entire Federation of Damanhur. So they have to manage that every one of us is aligned to the project that we decided together. Aside of all of this, we have what Falco was doing. Well, Falco, the founder, was not involved in any of this kind of managing organization and etc. But he was representing the spiritual dream. The fact that everything that is done in Damanhur is based on a spiritual choice. We are here for a spiritual mission. And this mission is the one that is inspiring then all the practical elements of our life. So Falco was, let's say, the guarantee that every action, that every choice, that everything, it is aligned with this spiritual commitment. So now that Falco is not here anymore, he left before he died 3 people that we call the sage in charge of this function. So the sage are, let's say, the spiritual guarantee that what we're going to do, it's aligned to the spiritual choice that is based in Damanhur. So this is very briefly, let's say, how we make our choice, how is the organization, even if obviously I can go much more into the details. Question?
Is the currency like internationally recognized? It has its own currency.
As the currency, as for the independency, this is another very dangerous topic because recognized. No, it's not recognized. Actually, again, or you are part of the club of the countries, that is a very reserved club. Otherwise, you cannot actually create a currency. I mean, officially you cannot create a currency, even if the creation of alternative currency is something that is being done all over the world in many different processes. Also, the cryptocurrency, that probably you are hearing more and more, I mean, they are not legal, but at the same time, they're working, and they're working very well, and they're going to work even more. Why? Because this alternative currency, they don't have a mediator between them. Let me just explain a little bit better. Every currency that we're using, dollars, euros, Canadian dollars, or whatever, every time that we're using it, to use them, we need something in between. Something, it means you need a bank, or you need a country. The country that is printing that kind of money. So every time that we are exchanging this money, we give down something to the bank, or the bank, that means the economic system, or to the country. So we lost the possibility to exchange without anything in the middle. The cryptocurrency, as the alternative currency, they bring us this power to us. So we can exchange them without being part of an economic system that is based on bank and country. The same economic system that is financing also all the things that maybe we don't like. Guns, drugs, slavery, and many other things. So obviously all of this can work if you can create an economic system, because a currency is not enough. An economic system, it means I need to create services or product that I can exchange. Otherwise, there's no economic system. And you know that one of the bases of economy is that money is making money when the money is in movement. Okay? When it's moving, it's creating the energy, it's creating the money. If the money stays there, then there is stagnation. The economy doesn't work well, etc., etc. So, based on these two concepts, why we create an alternative currency? Well, number one, because we was tired to depend to the classical economic system, okay? Or to be, in a sort of way, still property of a bank. Because if you don't have money, and when we start all the project of Damanhur, we didn't have money. So there was not rich people. We didn't receive a donation. There was not someone that was, a billionaire that doesn't know what to do with their money. No, it was normal people, okay? I would say also pretty normal with not so much money. So to buy the first land and everything, we went to the bank. We asked for a mortgage. Actually, at that time in the 70s, it was still possible to do mortgage for 30 years. Can you imagine? So unbelievable. Well, anyhow, we did the mortgage, but When you get the money from the bank and then you purchase your car or your house or your land, you know that it's not yours. Well, you are aware of this. Until you don't pay everything, I mean, the bank can take your house, your car, or whatever that you pay with that money to them. So, for example, there was a moment, it was exactly 1990, where all of a sudden, two banks asked us all the money back of the mortgage that we got. Why? Because it's their right, for any kind of reason, even if you pay the rate and then you pay every month and etc., that if for any kind of reason you are not trustable in their eyes anymore, they can ask you all the money back. You know what it means? That you're losing everything. And this unfortunately happened to us at the time. And it was a nightmare. A truly nightmare, because we were a small community at the beginning of everything, so we're not. And only thanks to many friends, we get the chance to survive. But from that moment, we decided to stop it. So we start to create an alternative currency. Why? Because it's a smart way, or for us it's a smart way, to, let's say, get a credit for free. Get money for free. Free, it means that it costs only to print the money. Let's imagine, maybe you have your wallet, maybe you have, I don't know, $100 inside of this wallet. Well, let's imagine that now you have $50, and 50, our currency is called credit. Okay? So we are 25 people here, 30 people. Let's say 30 people for 50 is $1,500. But let's imagine that we are not 30. We are, for example, 300 people or 3,000 people in the same situation. So multiply 3,000 for $50 and even more. So what it means? It means that I have, for the cost of the printing of the money or the coins, that amount of money for free. Doesn't cost me anything. I don't have to give a percentage of this. No, what I have to do is to keep the money inside of your wallet or to make it in movement. How? So an economic system that makes the money to move more and more, and probably also to move to more and more wallet. That means that I have a large amount of money that then I can use for purchase a house, buy a land, increase the new activities for free. Because you are lending the money and not the economic system. The way is to create the movement. How you create that? Well, you have to create enough activities, services, product to make the money in this movement. The good thing is that now, if you come to Damanhur, obviously you can change your US dollars in credit. You can spend the credits not only in Damanhur, but also outside of Damanhur. Because also other stores of the villages around us, they're accepting credits. Why? Because they know that accepting the credits, they're accepting new customers. Okay? Because obviously we cannot cover every kind of product. Okay? So that means that more and more stores are accepting the credits because they know that they can exchange it in euros or in dollars whenever they want. It's increasing the numbers of the credits on the market, on the wallets of people. That means more and more money that is coming, not from the system, not from the bank, that is completely independent and is sustaining all the Damanhur project. And not, just to forget, every time that someone is using a credit, they say, oh, but this is Damanhur, oh yes, they're doing this, oh, they're doing that. So it's also a messenger of our project, ideas, values, and etc. Just to finish, even if this is another topic that can take more than a day, we find out that now there are people that are selling the credits on eBay for the collection of different currency. No, I'm not joking, that's true. They are starting to sell, credits on eBay because, it's the currency of this place, Damanhur, blah, blah, blah.
Carl, I'd like you to speak a little bit about the Mystery School, and then I think, want to get into the music, the plants, and the dream path that we're teaching.
Yes. Well, she's giving me the timing. And now I have to thank you. I'm Italian, so I like to more to talk. Well, the Mystery School. The Mystery School, it's a very important topic, not only because it's probably, and not only probably, the most important path that we are offering outside of Damanhur. Yes, obviously you can also come and join the Mystery School in Damanhur, but it's much more easier when someone is coming here in your place, in your town, to teach these kind of things. What is the Mystery School? Well, the Mystery School is based on 3 years and is probably the best way to bring the Damanhur spirituality into something that is a practical instrument for your transformation. Yes, probably talking about transformation, we talk about something that looks, so obvious, because every spiritual research is telling you that we are here to transform ourselves and etc. But let's say transformation, it is very much linked not only about the things that are doing already well. You know what I'm talking? Transformation is not about what is already good. Transformation is really about the part that they still need to have light. Is the part that maybe are connected to insecurity, to fears, to block, and etc. It's the thing that doesn't allow us to accomplish our mission. Well, the terms of mission in the Mystery School is very important, because we believe that every one of us is here, back in this life, to accomplish a specific task, what we call the mission. Something that you and only you can realize in this life. Something that is individual, but at the same time is also collective. Because there's nothing about the mission of an individual that is not connecting to others for a bigger goal, for a bigger dream. So all elements that are really pretty much connecting to the meaning of life. So the Mystery School in these 3 years that are based on 10 seminars every year, 8 seminars more or less that we can do all over the world, and then some seminars that they need to be done in Damanhur. Yes, you have another good excuse to come to visit us. Why Damanhur? Well, because Damanhur is where there are the synchronic lines, is where there is the temple of humankind, the underground temple, so is where we have everything, or let's say, is the place that can accelerate many of the process that we can have inside of ourselves. So it's a place where the energy are playing, are working inside, bringing, let's say, our inner voice to speak again. And at the same time, it's the place where you can hear, you can feel, you can receive the answer to your question. So it's one of the places for a spiritual pilgrimage, in the true sense of places to go to receive your answers. Well, the Mystery School is in these 3 years, it's linked to different goals. The first year, it's all about rediscover who you are. Yes, many times we have an idea of us that is not pretty much who we really are. There is much more. We are always coming with much more possibility than we can imagine. So the first year, it's all about to rediscover, to find out all this different potential, all these different capacities, talents. The seminars are based on topics like astral traveling, inner harmonization, past life research, spiritual physics, inner harmonization, Atlantis and the ancient history of humankind, the dream path, the contact with the plants world. So all elements that are not only theory, but are information and then practical experience. So something that bring us then to change, to transform something inside of us. The second year is the year of the opening. Let's say, with the new consciousness of ourselves, we're ready then to open to a new connection with the others, but also with the different energy, with the different forces that are constantly interacting with us, in and out. And then the third year is the year of the mission. Yes, it's the year where we are getting back element of our mission, element of why we're here, element of what we have to do in this life. This is the process, and we just started here in Pittsburgh, so that's the reason why we also talk about it. The next 4 days, we're gonna actually teach 2 seminars. tomorrow and Friday we're gonna enter into the dream path. So we're gonna learn how to recognize the different messages, the different information that constantly, every day, we are receiving through our dreams, messages that they can come truly inside, from deep inside of us, but also messages that are really connecting to forces, to energies, to different life forms that are constantly interacting, because I mean life is not just what appears, but it's much more. So we're gonna learn how to give interpretation to our dreams. We're gonna create our dictionary of symbols, and we're gonna also receive some specific instruments that are archetype symbols that are able then to, let's say, to gather, to recall the dreams that we want to dream. The weekend then is really connecting to the plants world. It's connecting to reconnect with, let's say, parts of what in the past was what. So there was no differences between humans, plants, and nature spirit. We talk about the three mother worlds. Well, this is part of the ancient esoteric tradition. So the plants, they've been really strongly part of the humankind, of the humanity. Plants that are still trying to interact with us, plants that are talking with us, plants that are trying to guide us, but it looks that we are not listening anymore, that we lost this connection with nature. So this is all about the seminar, so to reconnect with nature, to reconnect with plants. It's also a way to create new friends. Yes, we're gonna create a special relationship, in particular with one tree, and how to communicate with the tree, also by distance, also by dreams. We don't need to be there all the time, but the tree, they can interact with us much more. We're gonna learn how the trees are the real nervous system of the planet, because the trees, by their roots, they are connecting to everywhere in this planet. They are able to communicate instantly everywhere. So they are also, let's say, the antennas that from the planet they are then communicating outside of the planet, and this is really pretty much connecting to the evolution of the planet Earth and the connection with other beings, with other intelligence that are waiting us, not us waiting them, but they waiting us in terms of see when finally we're gonna be back to that sort of level of evolution that probably we achieved a long time ago, and then for different reasons we lost, and now it's time probably to get back. So another very practical seminars. We're gonna go into the woods because we need to find out, these new friends, and where again we're gonna receive and learn techniques and instruments to increase this this possibility. We're gonna obviously talk and see the music of the plants, and we're gonna also talk about the tree orientation project that is part of the big goals that Damanhur is bringing all over the planet. So 4 very intense days, so we invite all of you, even if you never did anything with us, it's a perfect occasion to see how it is to move from theory into practice, because as I told you, this is one of the bigger lessons. So we need to make spirituality to literally to spiritualize the matter, so to bring things in action, and through the action to transform everything. So obviously there is much more about the Mystery School, but Jennifer again is here to give you more information, more details. And what do you think? It might be time for a little experience together.
I think everybody want to have an
Are you ready?
experience, yeah.
For a little bit?
Yeah.
Yes? Do you want a little experience together? Okay. So,
Have a chair, Would you like a chair?
no, for me it's fine. I can just stand. So, if you want, well, if we like the idea of an experience, so tonight we're gonna do a short meditation using a specific technique that is involving the breathing. Well, all of this is connecting to this very intense seminars, that is the seminars about inner harmonization. I know that probably the name is not so charming, so inner harmonization means everything and nothing at the same time. But actually this is a seminar that Falco, our founder, teach as one of the first a long time ago. And they are all techniques based on use of the breathing, using of position of the body, of sounds, of colors, of frequencies of light and everything. No, we can just stay on the chair. I think it's going to be easier. So from this seminar and also from other experience, I'm going to bring one technique that is a breathing technique, very simple and nothing complicated, but a technique that is very important because it's called prana breathing. Why prana breathing? Because in a short time, using this breathing, this technique, it's able to recollect, to bring a lot of prana, a lot of energy for us. In this case, we're going to use this energy to recenter ourselves, or to bring back the attention really very close to the soul, to what we call the divine spark, to what we call, let's say, the divine element. That is represented in this case, in this meditation, in a point that I will invite you to find in your center. Then you might ask me, which is the center? It's here. No, I mean, the center is your center. Where you're gonna feel is your center. It could be here, it could be here, it could be here, it could be here. It doesn't matter. Where you're gonna feel the light, when you're going to feel your center, it's going to be your center. So it's an element, it's an exercise that will help us for the dream of tonight. So recenter, bring all our attention in this light, will help us to then become perfect channel for the dream of tonight. Okay? Now, how are we going to do this breathing? It's very simple, but it's different because it's a belly breathing. And it needs to be done in a very slow and deep rhythm. We're gonna inhale through our nose and exhale from the mouth open. As you see, it's a belly breathing. So when I inhale, the belly is expands. When I'm exhaling, the belly is coming back. So exactly the opposite of how, unfortunately, we are breathing. If you observe your breath, probably it's a very short breath. And are you using all your lungs? No, probably you're just using, the surface, this part. We're not using all the lungs. So we create a sort of disconnection between above and below, between the mind and the heart, between what we think and what we feel. So in this case, the breath will help us to recreate a natural exchange. So, everything is clear? Are we ready? So I will just ask to maybe turn off one light, or maybe we can turn off that light and keep that one on. Yes, like this is perfect. Thank you. Okay, so I will just invite you, even if we don't have music, it's okay.
Plant on?
What?
You want the plant on?
No, that's fine, even without plant. So let's keep our eyes closed now. If you want, you can also take off your glasses for a moment. And you can adjust your position on the chair. So feel free to move your back. You can maybe just bring your hands on your legs. You can just move a little bit your shoulders. sure that the shoulders are well relaxed. Yes, like this. Now we just breathe normally, with no intention, but we are observing our breathing. Observe the movement of your breath. When you inhale and when you exhale. Yes. Probably now that you bring your attention, you realize how short it is. You realize that you're not using all your lungs. So you're not using all your energy. You're not using all your potential. But just a little part. What you want now is to go deep. What you want now is to connect with all your parts, to recenter. You're going to do that, changing your breathing. So now you start to inhale from your nose. And you try to fill completely the lungs. Starting from the bottom. Starting from your belly. Yes, the belly. It's welcoming all this air. And then you exhale, but with your mouth well open. And you feel the belly moving again first, letting the air come out from your lungs. This. You inhale from your nose and you exhale from your mouth well open. Like this. Like this. When you inhale, imagine to bring new energy. Energy for yourself. Energy for your body. Energy for your aura. Energy for your soul. When you exhale, imagine to let go. Let go your tightness, your fixed thoughts, your tensions. Yes, like this. Continue to breathe like this. keep going. Just for a little bit more. Just to give the time to this breathing to change the things inside and outside. I know you might feel that is enough, and maybe you want to stop. Please continue for a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Continue to use the belly first. A belly that is moving, expanding when you kneel, coming back when you exhale. Yes. Good. Very good. Now let your breathing free. And observe, keeping your eyes closed. Observe what is different, what is changed after this breathing. Inside of you, look, there is a light, a little light pulsating inside of you. In the center of you, wherever you feel is your center, there is a light. You can see this light. You can feel this light. In the center of you. In the center of you. And when you find this light, bring your hands connect to that part of your body where you feel your light. Yes. Slowly move your hands in contact. In contact to the point that you feel is your center. That you feel it's where is your light. And now take a deep breath from this point. Here, now, from this point, from this light, you can send an intention, a question, something that you want to know, or that you want to be held. Something important for you now. It's something that you're sending inside and outside. Something that tonight will be answered in your dreams. You send an intention, a question to the universe that is inside and outside. And tonight, into your dream, you can receive the answer. Now, when you feel ready, send this message. And take a deep breath. Well done. And now slowly bring back your hands on your legs. And from this light, from this point, expand the light in all your body. Enlarge this little point and make the light so bright, so big. All your body, all of you, it's now shining. Yes, like this. You can do a little bit more. Bring the light everywhere. And when your body is completely light, expand the light outside of you. Make this light be one light with all the others. Yes, like a sun. The light of all the people here are creating a new sun, able to bring light everywhere. Take another deep breath. And little by little, now that you expand this light everywhere, you bring back the attention on you, on yourself, on your body, on here and now. In this moment, in this time, in this room, in you, sitting here. And when you feel ready, feel that is your time. You can open your eyes. Thank you. Ready for the shock? So, like it. Tomorrow morning, don't forget, first things to do, write your dreams. Literally write it. Don't use the iPad, don't use the any tablet. Just really writing. It's important to use paper and pen.
What if you never remember your dream, like ever?
You have to come tomorrow for the sameness. No, well, beside what I just said, but there are some techniques to remember dreams. I can give you a little trick if you want, but it's a little church already, but it's working very well. So a little trick is to point your alarm at least 2 or 3 times during the night. Like one at 2:20, one at 3:50, one at 4:10. I know it's a little shock, but when you wake up, the first thing is to try to remember the dreams. So the first time you're gonna, starting to blame about me, and the second time you're gonna continue, but something is coming back. Then the third time you're starting to see that you're starting to remember. You have to do it for some nights. This is going to help you for sure to remember. Then there is also other techniques. There are some of what we call these schemas, that is the use of these symbols that are coming from archetype languages, that actually they are working also on the synapses of the brain to help to increase the capacity of remember, because we are dreaming every night. The fact that you don't remember is not that you're not dreaming. We dream every single night. But obviously, the remember is another thing. Now we are almost at the end, and now we have Now she's shy. Okay. We have the music of the plants. Well, this is part of our research that in the 80s brought us to have a very advanced electronic laboratory that was creating a lot of interesting technology, in particular able to read the electrical conductivity that every alive being is creating, as we are creating electricity. One of the things that makes the screen of your smartphone, of our smartphone, to work is not only the touch, but also the little electricity that we are creating. Anyhow, connecting to a translator of this electrical conductivity, you can literally translate this signal in something that could be, for example, music or other kind of instrument. For example, all connecting to the plant's intelligence, we create not only the first synthesizers to translate this in music, but for example, we had also some little, how to say, not track.
It's like a track.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a skateboard.
It's a skateboard, but in this case commanded by the plants. So the plants was moving, the plants, while the sun was moving. So to follow the light, the plants was moving, but we didn't do anything, it was the plants to move it. Or the plants was commanding another device to get the water. When the plants wants the water, the plants can control the arriving of the water. Or, even more interesting, we create some devices commanded by the plants to lock or unlock a door. So, and then when it was coming close to the door, very beautiful thoughts, positive thoughts, I'm going to give you a lot of water, I'm going to nourish you, blah, blah, blah. So then the plants was opening the door. But if someone was coming there, with very bad thoughts, I'm going to cut your leaves, I'm going to destroy everything. So the plant was locking the door. So, interesting things.
You have to tell another story when the person that was taking care of the plant, the door would always open when he came. He was out having wine with some friends and enjoying himself, and when he came home, the plant didn't recognize him.
Yes,
locked the door.
It's one of the many different tales. Well, definitely of all these different devices, the one that becomes more and more famous, also thanks to the new technology, because at the time, the synthesizer was really a huge box, very difficult to be portable, and also the sound was much less pleasant than these kind of sounds. But the evolution of the music of the plants is becoming more and more, let's say, a scientific approach to something that obviously is not only scientific, because in every spiritual interpretation, the plants are alive beings, the plants are part of an alliance, part of a connection, a union with the humans. And they are part of this world, or definitely even more than us. And the music of the plants is a great opportunity also to introduce all of these aspects to the young generation. I'm talking about our children. Because the hope, at least for the new generation, is to rise generation that are going to be more aware of the fact that we need to protect the nature, that we need to protect the trees, that we need to have an equal connection with them. So, and the children are the greatest hope. Obviously there is always hope, but we are still, unfortunately, generation of humans that are still destroying, killing plants all over the planet, that are destroying, the last huge forest. So we need really to go reverse all of this. There is some question probably.
Is it in the roots or the leaves, or where does that?
Oh yes, sorry, I didn't specify how we get this electrical conductivity. So there is a sensor that is connecting to one of the leaves, and one other sensor that is connecting to the roots, and is how this is work. But don't imagine that all the plants are responding the same, because you're going to discover also in this seminar that every plant is different. It's like humans. All the humans are the same, Absolutely not. So not all the plants are the same. So there are, you know, plants that are much more, they're speaking much more, plants that are much more shy, plants that are much more slow, faster, plants that sometimes they just fall asleep all of a sudden. So it's very fascinating. And when I hope you're gonna come to visit us in Damanhur, maybe you will come during springs or summer or the fall, you may also participate into some of our live concert of the plants in the sacred forest. So we have, you know, professional players, professional plants that are playing. I'm not joking. There's a couple of oaks that are really professional, very famous all over the world. They're the Rolling Stones of the plants because there's a group of them. And many times we do the concert also with other musicians playing different instruments, and it's unbelievable. Sometimes we also invite during a conference, you know, if there is, you know, a singer or a player with the instrument, to start to sing with the plants, because the plants is interacting. So the plants are starting to change the music according to the music that the other singer is chanting or playing. So it is amazing to see that, because she is interacting. So if you go close to the plants and you're starting to use your thoughts or to be very delicate in touching the leaves, the plant is reacting. Okay, could be also very shy, as she's shy now that I'm talking about her, telling to those. You see, when I said someone going there, she was like, so, and you see how is the interaction is amazing. Or with dancers, we use other people playing or singing, and then dancers, and then it's amazing to see the music of the plants that is changing according to the movement of the dancer. So you definitely have to come to this live concert in Damanhur. You can visit.
Well, now that you made all of us vegetarians feel totally guilty.
Well, you know, there are these other religion about the vegans, the vegetarians, so we're not entering in that. But definitely, I mean, we can approach, I mean, the plants world in a many different way. Obviously, all of this is to try to raise the conscience of people. That is pretty obvious, okay? I'm not talking about you. You are already here, people with a sort of sensitivity, with a sort of experience, with a sort of attention about spirituality and learning more. But unfortunately, my friend, we have to say that in this planet, I mean, there is still a lot of other people that can improve the same sensitivity and attention. I mean, diplomatic enough. So we really need others to help to reawake the fact that, I mean, life is something more than just what is being shown on TV. So, music of the plants, if you want, it's something not directly too spiritual, because sometimes people, they could be scared about spirituality because maybe they feel that they're going to doubt about their religion or their beliefs. It is scientific because in any case it's based on a machine, it's based on a device, but at the same time it's opening to a world that is completely different, the world of the fact that there are other alive beings and maybe they are really connected with us, they are really trying to communicate with us.
I think somebody over here was first, but I would like to ask a question. Somebody, were you asking the question?
I have a
sorry.
question. Can it make two notes at one time?
Two notes? What do you mean for two notes at the same time?
Harmony? Chord.
Could be. I think so. I mean, I'm not an expertise in that, but yes, definitely. And this sound could also change in terms of the kind of tones and everything, because we can change it. The synthesizer has multiple possibilities. Not all of them are very charming, in my opinion, but some of them they are, as Jennifer now is trying.
Does your community have any association with the Findhorn community in Scotland?
Well, you arrived probably after, and I talked briefly also in the video about GEN, that is the Global Eco-Village Network, and we've been part of the founders of GEN. And GEN is, this organization that contain and connect all the different communities. So obviously Zag, Findhorn, Arrowville, Damanhur, and many others we are all part of the Gen, so, and we also create programs to exchange between community, and we are trying to support every other community that has been created in the planet. This is much more loud. It's nice. No, it's nice. So, because one of the goals of Damanhur is in any case to support the creation of communities. I was mentioning these seminars, that is how to create successful community, not Damanhur community, but community as an instrument to realize the dreams of people. This is the intention of creating community. So being a practical support for the dream, where the dreams for us are always something that we can realize. So we leave the fantasy for others. But I have to admit that there is more and more attention all over the planet about community, even if unfortunately people doesn't know what is community. So they come with a bunch of different ideas, but they don't really know because there's not so many examples. So in this case, Damanhur could be really, let's say, a very important example, because after 43 years, we know how it works more or less, okay? At least in the human relationship, in the element that are working and working less. So the fact that we did it, it means that others, they can repeat it. So they don't need to repeat the same mistakes. So they can definitely do much better. So this is the idea of revolution.
There's a municipal community, I don't know, in Copenhagen. Are they part of you? Are they self-contained? It's also trying to work.
Which community?
In Copenhagen?
In the one, yes.
Yes.
Well,
are they independent?
Well, you know, for what I know, because they are not really a real community. It's being established in the 60s, 70s.
Area, yes, and they're trying to.
It's been changed many times. So then they get the right now on that property, but it's not really a community. It looks like more like an eco village.
Right.
If I can say, very alternative, because obviously in the 60s and 70s it was more sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Yeah.
You know, so without obviously trying to normalize that experience. It was pretty much about that. It is still not really the idea of the community. It was really like the idea of creating something outside of the society, where the individual freedom was in the base of that.
Right, I understand.
When we talk about intentional community, is when there is, let's say, a common goal in the center of the community. So let's say the community is at the service of that common goal, is at the service of the dream. This is the reason why when we teach in this class, the first element that we teach is the dream. Because without the dream, why you want to live with others? Come on, so it's challenging. So my friend, it's 9:05. Last question, I don't know how many questions, 1 and 2, so the last two.
I was just curious, can anybody buy that device to hook up to the...
Yes, it's possible. Actually, I have a device available here in Pittsburgh, so if eventually some of you are interested, you can find it also here. Otherwise, on Instagram you can buy it easily.
So, are you holding workshops?
Yes, I'm holding a workshop. Yes, in the next
This
days.
week?
This next 4 days. So it's going to be tomorrow and Friday, the Dream Path. Saturday and Sunday, about the plants world.
Is it all in this location?
Yes, it is in, now Jennifer left, because I don't know, well, it's here nearby.
It's in the Fox Chapel area, it's off of Fox Chapel Road. It's at Jennifer's house on
Yes, it's where we are hosting at the moment the Mystery School that we started. We are in this case hosted by Jennifer in her house. She has a beautiful large space, as some of you already came for other seminars. So if you're interested, after the seminars you can then ask to her. We was talking about where we are hosting the classes.
Yes, so I had beautiful flyers that I left at home. My dogs wouldn't, at the last minute, were looking for attention. So. But anyways, we are really close here. I'm up in Fox Chapel. So we're hosting the Crótalo for the classes. We're offering a special to OMA for the normal price is $280. We're offering $250 for each workshop. It's a 2-day workshop. The classes go from 10 till 6 both days. So again, tomorrow and Friday is Dream Path, and then Saturday and Sunday is Communication with Plant World. I can give you, if you're interested, I can give you my phone number and address or email, and we can connect and just see me, I guess, afterwards.
Will this be offered again, because the next 2 days are like impossible in terms of my schedule?
What we're hoping for is to do a whole first year repeat, because people are just, I'm new back to Pittsburgh. I've lived here before, but I'm just coming back, so I'm trying to build an audience. Normally we've been bringing Crótalo in, and it's so wonderful to have someone from Italy doing these courses, because again, I don't know if he mentioned, they've had 40 years of research, and you hear these courses of astral travel, plant communication, or these different things, and as an American or as somebody that's been doing this, I think, oh, I've done Dream Path, who wants to do another? This is very different. The work that they do and the teaching that they do is very deep, and it's very practical. So it's such a wonderful opportunity, and we have it right here in Pittsburgh. So I do want to repeat the course, but we need to get the people here, because he's one person traveling around the whole country, and he goes to Boulder and Florida and a few other places. So I want to create a nexus here. So yes, that's my intention. One whole year.
Crótalo, did you say that the Dream Path is the first course?
No, it's not. Actually, in the first year, we have several courses at our first level. Like this one that is the first level, so it's not number one. There's not really a number one in the sequence, because in this kind of teaching, it's like a puzzle. Let's say every single seminar is giving you another piece of the puzzle. So it's time to finish. I know. So yes, I've been invited probably to do this. So there's no problem to join, even if you didn't join the others.
And as we finish, I just also want to thank one more time Oma for...
Yes, thank you Oma, thank you for hospitality.
I'm very excited to have met Deb and Gail and Oma, and what the opportunities are here in Pittsburgh. It's gone a lot different than the meat and potato town when I first came here.
On behalf of OMA, we'd also like to thank both of you and all of you for coming tonight. So you can check our website for future events, as I think Maureen mentioned before. So again, thank you.
Thank you.